um, since everybody is here. We have talked about many books, many novels, but this is my first time when we're actually talking about Russian novels. I don't know whether Classic Dangers have done Russian books, but this is my first time we are talking about Russian books. And Russian books is to begin with. Before we go into this book, the Russian literature development of literature throughout history is they have the similar path to other Western European literature history. They went through the Middle Ages, they went through the Renaissance period, they went through the Enlightenment period, the Romantic period, the Gothic period. They went through all that. It was quite similar, but what distinguished the Russian literature as opposed to Western is they were always one step behind. They were always one step behind. Singularly because Russia is a very vast country with majority of the people was illiterate. The Slavs were basically majority literate. Slavs during back then they were the majority populations. In fact, the word Slavs comes from the word slave. They were the slaves. They were not those aristocrats that were staying in St. Petersburg and Moscow. They were the aristocrats. They were the upper class. They were the one who spoke French to each other. That's how upper class they were. So the history of development of Russian literature could be broken into four periods. Very similar to the Western European, which was first one was the medieval age. It is equal to the medieval age. They were called the pre-Petrine age, and these are the age where the power of the church, as opposed to collective, organized, secular government was there. So the churches were basically ruling parts of Russia, and in fact, if you look at the history of Russia, Christianity, before even the advent of the Holy Roman Empire, which is the western part of Christian Empire, they were already, back then was the Eastern, which was in Constantinople. And before they organized, Vatican was even organized, the Eastern Orthodox Christians were already spreading their wings up to Turkey, up to Russia. So that's why you see the Russian embrace the Orthodox Christian until today. So that is the medieval part, the pre-Petrine. The development of Russian literature came when Peter the Great. He came to power, and he wanted to westernize. He wanted to embrace the Western civility into Russia. He wanted to be part of it. So he introduced a lot of Western cultures, tradition, intellectual into the people of Russia, and he was the start of the intellectual progress of literature in Russia. But he himself wasn't that little, he wasn't that sophisticated. He was a brute. The actual power behind, the finesse behind him was the wife, Katrina the Great. She brought Russia into the Enlightenment period, and because of him, because of Peter the Great, you see the advent of Romanticism, Gothic, but with their own flavor. The Russians have their own flavor. They still have their Enlightenment period. They still went through the Renaissance, but with a different flavor. Always within the words of their writing the sense of hardship, ordeal, turmoil of the land. It's always, if you read any novels, it's always, you know, goes back to the hardship, turmoil, suffering. It's a Russian thing. We do not know why. It's very cynical to say it's a Russian thing, but that's how it is. Thereafter, after the third age of literature progress was the what we call